Hello everybody, can you believe that it's you, me and a podcast again? The months just seem to be flying by, but again, I am so proud to be an ambassador for the MACS charity, and it's a real privilege to be able to do these intimate, unedited podcasts together where we're going to have some bloopers together and we're going to have just a good time together. I think sometimes unedited is the best because it's the best version, the most authentic version of me being with you. Now, what we've discovered with the team is that actually for children and young people, sleep is really, really important. But sometimes it can be really hard to get to sleep, to stay asleep, and to have good quality sleep. And that's why me working as a school-based counsellor, a family support worker, content creator, trainer to adults about mental health in children and young people, I get to see just how important this is and actually how wrong some young people are getting it. So let's look at different ways that we can really prepare you for bedtime. Let's look at maybe how you can help yourself in the middle of the night if you are waking up and you can't get back to sleep. And just to remind you about the importance of sleep. So, we've got a cold by the way, so hopefully we should be okay. So, with our sleep, what you'll notice is that sleep is like brain food. It's exactly what the body needs in order to recover from the day, in order to process what we've learned, in order to allow our body to heal. So what you'll notice is that actually if you've got a niggle of an injury, it's really at night time where you get to have that downtime, that sleep, that recover, that actually you're really able to allow your body to replenish. Now, we've all had it, even as adults, where we wake up and we're feeling, really groggy, like dragging ourselves out of bed or dragging ourselves to school or work. And it's really important that we recognise that actually there is something that you can do about it. And that's called taking control of your sleep. Now, with our sleep, I need us to, first of all, take that responsibility to recognise that actually if you are feeling really tired and groggy, that actually what is it that you can do? Now, tired and grogginess, it might also be that maybe you need some multivitamins. Certainly bearing in mind different kind of seasons. In the winter where we're not getting the sunshine or enough daylight, sometimes we might need some more vitamins like vitamin D. And being low in iron, which is really common, that again can affect us to feel more tired. So if it is something that you're really feeling, then most definitely speak to family members just to see if maybe it might be multivitamins or maybe even going to see the doctor. However, often it can be stress and it can be worry, it can be feeling overwhelmed that can really stop us from being able to connect and sleep. Now, what I'd like to kind of remind yourself is that we take sleep for granted. And as young people, you'll have an estimated kind of amount of sleep that they'll suggest. And you'll find that number will more than likely with hours be same across the board. It doesn't matter what website you go to. And don't forget that there's been plenty of research that's gone into that. And I think we need to remind ourselves that research is telling us something. That research is age appropriate for us to find out how much sleep we need. So really, I'd encourage you to maybe check out the NHS, a trusted website where you can actually find out how much sleep is it that you need. Now, it's also about the bedtime routine, and it's also known as sleep hygiene, where it's making sure that you're looking after yourself as you get ready for bed. Now, our bodies go into kind of a sleep pattern, shall we call it in simple terms, where our bodies will go into these sleep cycles. And these sleep cycles can be interrupted sometimes. So with that, and I'll come to the snooze button later, but actually if you was to have a nap during the day and you haven't set your alarm, then actually what you're doing is you're interrupting in that sleep pattern because your body might be wanting to go into a very deep sleep during the day, and then it's waking up because guess what, we need to because it's during the day. So just bear in mind that having a nap during the day, whilst it might be essential sometimes, anything over 20 minutes can really interrupt a sleep pattern, which can actually make you feel more tired and more groggy than before the nap. So it's just about reminding yourself that. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to start off to remind you about actually the things and the strategies and steps and top tips that you can do to kind of get yourself ready for bed. Now, what it is I need us to plan downtime before bedtime. And you might be thinking, well, I brush my teeth and I get in my pyjamas and that's enough. But actually, planning downtime before bedtime, really improving your sleep hygiene is really important, because actually it's you getting your mind ready for bed. Sometimes it can be really hard to go to sleep if we've been on our phone and instantly we're just going to sleep, or if we've been really busy and we're going to sleep, or if you're one of the older young people, maybe have had caffeine during the day and caffeine again closer to bedtime, then again it's really hard for your brain to just switch off and go to bed. So planning that downtime before bedtime is really important. So it's about maybe giving yourself a plan. What is the plan that you can do to really allow yourself to get ready for bed? It might be to have a bath or a shower. It might be to really get in your pajamas. It might be to have a warm drink before bedtime. It might be kind of having time to read. But what we're trying to do is we're trying to get our mind ready. We're telling ourselves that it's time, I'm getting ready for bed. Now, the tricky thing is screen time can really interrupt bedtime. And you might be thinking, well, why, Jo? Well, actually, with our screens, and whether that's our phones, tablets, iPads, computer screens, is that actually what it does is it gives off this blue light. Now, blue light actually can stop a natural hormone called melatonin from creeping in. Now, melatonin is a sleepy hormone. It should be natural and it should be something that creeps into your body. It creeps into your brain that allows you to feel sleepy. The thing is though, when you're on a device and you don't have the night light set, it might be night mode, comfort mode, sleep schedule. I'm trying to think about what it's also, eye comfort. It's so different on different phones. I'm team Android and so many people are team Apple. On team Apple, I'm pretty certain it's night mode. But with that, I'd like you to really schedule that time on your phone. The reason why is because then it will take away that blue light, it will stop emitting it. Therefore, when you are on your phone, at least that can help that sleepy hormone get in. But don't forget though, I sound like such a mum, such a Karen, but actually what it's also doing is it's activating your brain with watching this and reading this. And it's also stirring emotions, whether that's you comparing yourself to that story that you've just read or that video you've just read, whether that's triggering sadness because actually you've just watched something that's quite sad, or it's triggered something within you because guess what, you feel that way. And actually it can stir up those emotions that again can just interfere with our brain having that downtime. So it's just really important that you learn to respect your body and respect your sleep, because it is so important that you do. Now, also what I'd like to do is I'd like to introduce you to affirmations. Now, affirmations, I could talk about this in every video and I'm surprised I haven't already. Affirmations is basically the opportunity where, again, you're telling yourself, you're telling your mind, you're telling your body exactly what it is that you're hoping to feel, okay? Now, we know that the way that we think can affect the way that we feel, okay? I'll say that again. The way that we think can affect the way that we feel. So if you're going to bed at night and it's like, I can't sleep, I can't sleep, I can't sleep, you're going to be lying in there in bed, tossing and turning, and guess what? You're going to be making it so much harder for yourself to actually get to sleep. So what I need us to do is I need us to put those kind affirmations into our mind. Research them. There's loads to help you with school, college, sixth form. And with that, it's if we're at school, an affirmation would be, I can do this, or this is tricky, but I'm capable of amazing things. This girl can, this boy can. It's about you telling yourself of what you want your body, what you want your mind to achieve. And again, in the morning, if you're waking up and it's like, oh, today's going to be such a bad day, nothing's going to go good, I'm not going to achieve anything. And guess what? Your brain is set up, as you're getting out of bed, your brain is setting yourself up to subconsciously look for all the bad things to happen that particular day. Therefore, when somebody is rude to you, or somebody doesn't open the door for you, or if you don't get a mark that you're proud of, it's going to be so much worse. So what I do is I would kind of challenge you to swap that around. I'm forward stepping here a bit. But again, waking up in the morning, it's about today's going to be a good day. Because then again, subconsciously, guess what? Our mind is looking for all the good things to happen. So just see if you can implement those affirmations before bedtime. Most definitely research them and find the right ones for you. Now, as we're trying to get into bed, I need us to make sure that we have created the right sleeping environment, okay? Now, it's proven that our bodies will fall asleep easier in a colder room than a warmer room. It's really hard for our bodies to regulate its temperature to feeling comfortable enough to go to sleep if it's cooler than actually if the body's just too hot. So with that, it's about making sure that you've got a comfortable room. It's also making sure that it's well lit. So if it's in the summer, it's not trying to go to sleep with the curtains wide open, okay? It's about really trying to create that calm environment for you. Now, I am a complete fan of a lamp. I love lamps. I love how a lamp can create a different type of setting in a room. So, here we go. Right, so this is an Essex girl going to say a word very posh. It's all about creating the right ambience. I love that word, ambience. And with that ambience is lighting is so important. Lighting is something that can really allow you to just soak up. Oh, it's bedtime now. It's bedtime now. Because with that, you can have that different lighting. And actually, if you don't have a lamp, then what you'll notice is with our phones have a torch. And again, having a torch positioned is brilliant because again, it's creating that calm time before bedtime. So I always call it downtime before bedtime. So with that, it's maybe trying to find background noise as well. So it might be, you might have, and then a kind of a smart speaker. You might have, even if you're using the torch, background music with your phone. And with that, what you're doing is you're going to try maybe different types of sounds. Now, those different types of sounds might be white noise, where it might be of a fan. There's loads of different types of white noise. Or it might be background noise, which is maybe a cafe. So with that, you're having it really low and really gentle. It might be piano music, it might be rain, it might be the sound of the beach. But what it is it's just allowing yourself to calm your mind. You might want that just before bedtime, or you might want that as you try and get to sleep. So it's all about experimenting. And if I can get you guys to experiment at a younger age, guess what? It's going to make it so much easier when you're adults, because even adults struggle with going to sleep. So with that, the beauty of having a sound might make you feel less alone. It's the same with a lamp. Sometimes people like to go to bed with a light on, whether that's a landing light. And I understand that, but it can't be too bright, okay? Because when it's bright, again, it's going to just kind of stop your brain from trying to switch off. So now I want us to imagine that we're in bed and we're trying to get to sleep. And we're tossing and turning because guess what? We cannot sleep. Now, one of the things that I love to do is to figure out what is it that's on our mind. Because it's natural for us to ruminate about the day. It's natural for us to think, oh, if only I did this, and oh, why didn't I say that? And what did that person actually really mean when they said that comment? So actually, when we're ruminating about the day, that can just really interrupt us as we're trying to lay there and get to sleep. So what I'd encourage you to do is to maybe trial having a pad and a pen and literally having that at the side of your bed. Now, worrying is something that we do. Feeling stressed is something that we do. It's about how we deal with it. And that's why I love working and doing this work for this charity, incredible charity. Do you know actually just how much they offer and just how incredible the team really work for this charity? It's incredible. But actually, sometimes we have to recognise that stress is always going to come into our life. It's about how we deal with it. And actually, us worrying at night time isn't going to change anything, okay? So I need us to really allow ourselves that permission to write it down, almost to dump it from your mind onto that piece of paper. It's not going away forever, but right now, we're just going to place it onto that piece of paper. I tell you what I do. I actually go and open the window. Oh my golly gosh, this is way too much information for you. So I'll actually go to a window now. I hold my stress on my shoulders. I feel like I'm the Hunchback of Notre Dame sometimes because I'm just like walking around like this. I forget that I've actually got a neck. So actually what I'll do is I'll just gently go and imagine all my worries. I don't have to imagine them into particular, but just that feeling. I put them in a ball of cotton wool, like kind of just put it together. I open up a window and I blow it out to the sky. Oh my days, what might you be thinking of me right now? Anyway, the team asked me to be real, and that's exactly what I'm doing. There we go. But actually, what I'll do then is I'll go back into bed, and that's like my pad and pen and piece of paper, because even though I might be having these thoughts, I just think to myself, no, you're outside right now. You can have the window still open because it's like helium, because the next day when you wake up, there they are, they're there on your mind. So it's about doing that brain dump with those different thoughts. It's also maybe trying different things, okay? And this might sound really silly, but when we're going to sleep and if we're being worried about, oh, I've got to do this and I mustn't forget to do that and I've got to pack that for school maybe, then actually what you can do, and what I'd encourage you to do, is to try and get organised for your next day, the night before. So actually, if you know that that is something that you are worrying about, guess what? Take control. Take control and actually see if you can make yourself be more organised. Whether that's packing your bag, it might be helping do the lunches or do your own lunch. It might be getting your outfit ready the night before. If there are silly little things that you can do to help yourself the night before, to stop that on your brain, then that's really important. Okay, I want us to imagine that we're still struggling. So what we can do is we can do these different visualization techniques. Now, one of my favourites that I'll share with you now, and I tell you what I will do, I will make time for the charity to actually read one of my favourite, I might do a couple actually, visualizations. There is Headspace on YouTube. They do some brilliant ones as well. My favourite one is that as you're going to sleep, this is going, I want you to just imagine breathing in, okay? And as we breathe in, and we breathe all the time, but actually let me tell you how to do a proper breath. It's breathing in through the nose, as if you're smelling chocolate. I love chocolate. And you're breathing out through the mouth as if you're blowing out candles on a cake. Really soft, really gentle. But with that, I want you to imagine, as you're doing those breaths, I want you to imagine that you're in your safe place. It could be anywhere in the world. It could be maybe a holiday that you've been to. It might be a holiday that you dream of. It might be being just safe in a particular place or with particular people. But actually, when you're in your safe place, you're on your own. You might be able to be surrounded by other people at a distance, but you're on your own. I want you to imagine that that weight is being lifted, because guess what? You feel safe. I want you to really imagine yourself there. I want you to imagine, what is it that you're wearing? What is it that you can see? Really look around you as you're lying there. And just imagine looking around. What is it that you can hear? What's the weather like? So it's doing these different visualizations, and there's loads out there, that actually allows your mind to just really calm down. Now imagine it's during the night and actually we've woken up and... Now, often what can happen is we can clock watch. Clock watch is dangerous, okay? Because actually what we're doing is we think, oh my gosh, I've only got 4 more hours and then we've got to get up. And we can keep on going with that. So actually what I'd encourage you to do is actually, do you need to see the time? So if you've got a clock, actually, do you need to see the time? So it might be to be able to turn it away. But actually, what I'd like you to really see, if you can try and do, is just to remind yourself that even though you're not going to sleep, what you're doing is you're allowing your body to rest. And what that might look like is just allowing the weight to be even as you're laying in your bed. It's allowing your ears to hopefully listen to maybe the sound of silence, or if you do need to play something, it's very gentle. It's about your eyes being closed. It's about your body being still. Now that resting is a form of sleeping. It might not necessarily be what you want, but what I really want you to achieve is just feeling that sense of calm, because it's only when you allow yourself to calm your mind that actually you'd be able to allow your body to go to sleep. So yeah. And I do think that we have to remind ourselves the next day when we're waking up, it's about, I don't want to get up. I don't want to get up. Well, think about that snooze button. That snooze button is only putting off the inevitable. So actually, if you're a snoozer and you keep doing it, actually all that's happening is your body's trying to get back into that sleep cycle, and you keep waking it up. And I do the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It might be cold if it's in the winter, but I do the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to get up in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And guess what? Do it. Do it. Because again, it's about having that doing and that action. And it's also about, as I said at the beginning, about setting your mind up. Okay? Today's going to be a good day. And this is a real mum alert, okay? A real Karen. But what I'd love for you to do is to make your bed. Now, I'm not asking for you to do it neat and tidy like it would be in a soldier in the army. They really do have to make their beds properly, you know. But what I'm asking you to do a quick make your bed. Because guess what? Before you've even left the room, before you've even done anything else, you've achieved one thing. You've made your bed. So these are just ideas. Some of them might be great, some of them might be really silly, but it's only by you doing this trial and error that you'll actually be able to recognise what is it that works for you. What is it that works for you? Anyway, I care for you guys, I want the best for you guys, and I really want you to look after yourself. I really want you to start to take sleep important. And guess what? If you've had a late night the night before, or if you've tried these and they haven't worked, okay, don't stress. Let's try our best, okay? And let's go again the next day. And it's about making these tiny tweaks. And speaking to adults and trusted adults in your life. And when you can't sleep, what works for you? Because then it's about sharing ideas. So yeah. Anyway, stay being you. Stay being you. Don't forget the charity's there to help you. And don't forget that you're not alone. And I look forward to seeing you again soon. See you later, everybody. Bye.